Jamstack is really the new hotness now. It brings speed, which is essential now with SEO, with the new Google measures about the core vitals for SEO that now are really essential. So with Gatsby and JAMStack, you have really super fast website. You change pages instant, it's static, brings also security because your database is not exposed. A lot of more flexibility, great developer experience because now most developers are learning React, not PHP. So people want to learn with React. So it brings a lot of advantages.
This episode of the Matt Report is brought to you by Foo Plugins, more specifically, Foo Plugins Foo Gallery. You can find it at foo.gallery. There's a new pro commerce plan, and it gives you two-way integration into WooCommerce. So if you want to sell photos, you can sell photos with foo.gallery and WooCommerce. It makes your job super easy, especially if you're a photographer. I just had family photos taken the other day, and I looked at the big conglomerate website that my photographer sent me. I said, man, it would look so much better if you sold it right through WooCommerce, especially if you use something like Foo Gallery. Check out foo.gallery and learn more about their pro commerce plan. Check out their WooCommerce integration. They have a great way to watermark and protect your photo galleries. Check them out and thank them for sponsoring the show. It's foo.gallery. Go to foo.gallery today. Start selling images with Foo Gallery and WooCommerce. Now that the WordPress acquisition market has cooled off a bit, it's time to stoke the fire on all things Gatsby and JAMStack-y-ness. Again, don't let full site editing steal all of the thunder. There's still so much happening around headless WordPress and the ability to integrate third-party APIs to take the place of plugins. And look, I know it's a polarizing thought process to some of us, but if we want WordPress to continue to grow, we need to give it some room for new use cases. I'm joined by Alexandra Spalato to talk about her company, Gatsby WP Themes, over at GatsbyWPThemes.com, and how this hotness comes with some red-hot opportunity. If you're wondering how to make money in WordPress theme space headed into 2022, look no further than this conversation. Get schooled on the technology and learn how the heck she found her co-founder, along with the recipe to success, splitting the responsibilities. This is The Matt Report, a podcast for the resilient business builder. I've launched something new you might have heard called the WP Minute, and you can join us as a member to get into our private Discord server and take part in crafting the weekly WordPress news. Check out buymeacoffee.com/MattReport. Join, and thanks to Foo Plugins, Foo Gallery for sponsoring my work here on the Matt Report and the WP Minute. Okay, here's Alexandra Spalato on Jamstack and Gatsby WordPress themes.
Jamstack is really the new hotness now. It brings speed, which is essential now with SEO, with the new Google measures about the core vitals for SEO that now are really essential. So with Gatsby and JAMStack, you have really super fast website. You change pages instant, it's static, brings also security because your database is not exposed. A lot of more flexibility, great developer experience because now most developers are learning React, not PHP. So people want to learn with React. So it brings a lot of advantages. And my dream has always been to make a product since I'm developing. To be honest, I really wanted. I'm a creative. I went into development because I'm a creative person. And when I was in WordPress, I wanted to do themes, but the market was crowded. And then I began working with React. And I said, wow, this is my path. This is what I want to do. We need premium themes with nice designs, with options. So people, I think, especially developers or agency, can have some things they can reuse, pre-made designs, but not only that, because myself, I use my own themes for projects to not reinvent the wheel. I have a developer theme that I can modify everything, but it contains another theme that get all the data and all the options, and I work really faster with that.
Here's what I see. I'm not a developer, and the WordPress world is still heavy on the development talk, right? The interest of WordPress is still largely for developers, first and foremost. And I see a lot of people saying, hey, this whole learn JavaScript deeply thing, Gutenberg, Gatsby, I feel like some people, there's a camp of people who are like, oh, that's too technical. Like I can't even enter in WordPress anymore because it's no longer just modify some HTML and CSS and know a little bit of PHP lightly. Like that's how I got into the WordPress world. So I could kind of relate with that, but I'm not a developer. So I haven't been practicing the skill for like the last decade. What's your thoughts on somebody from the outside just getting into WordPress development? Is it that much of a challenge, or if they're starting fresh, you kind of just learn this language and you're good to go?
So there is different type of developers and what you want to do. Myself, I'm self-taught, and when I begin with WordPress, I didn't know HTML and CSS. I just began taking themes and playing with them, and I had a design sense, so I did things, begin to work, and I began to learn HTML, CSS, and begin to do my themes, and I discover I'm a developer, and I love that. So I wanted to go deeper, and I wanted more, so I did a JavaScript bootcamp, and I learned React, and that's me, okay? Now there is other type of developers, and there is WordPress implementers that doesn't develop, but they do great things too, and they address to a different type of clients, I think. So I think there is place and things for really different type of person. Like there is different type of developers. We have front end, back end, there is DevOps people, and now we have this possibility of doing Jamstack. So no, people, the great thing with WordPress, it depends on who you are and where you want to go. For me, it has been an opening, and now I'm there creating a product in React. I never expected that 10 years ago. So
what was the job? You mentioned you took a JavaScript course. What was that course for folks who might be interested in it?
It was in Barcelona, and it was in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
It was a bootcamp in Barcelona and Skylab. I have two native language. One is French, one is Spanish. So I speak English, as you see, but taking one in Spanish it was a burden less for my brain learning that. But it was a great one. It was 3 months, full time, full stack. So it was React, Node, everything, and the folks that were there, it was more to find a job. So all of them find a job at the end. So bootcamps are really great. I think in my case, it was more to have to learn new things, to have more fun developing and doing new things. And thanks to that, I'm there. So yes, bootcamps are nice, I think, my opinion. It was in person, it was not online.
Sure. When we had our pre-interview, we talked about this being your very first product. Now, it's not your first foray into a business because you've been running a business, but talk to me about this whole first product thing. Any fear around that? And how did you prepare yourself to launch your first product?
Oh, not fear, no. And it has been the path. The path, it's interesting, happened what happened. Even if it doesn't work or whatever, I have learned so much and had a great time. As I said, I'm a creative, so creating a product is great. I had a lot of fun and joy doing it. Also, I'm very lucky because I didn't want it to do it alone. Well, we began with Zach, but then I really needed a partner to develop with, and I found Gaspe on Twitter. I knew her before from WordCamp in Paris. She's Polish and she lives in Paris. I contacted her and she was immediately okay. She already had a theme business in Theme Forest, but she wanted to do new things, and especially in JavaScript. She was more with Vue, and she learned React with me. And she's super talented in design and in code, in everything. We met at Gatsby Days in London when I was doing a talk, and we began the next day immediately. And it was, yes, a lot of fun and joy. Then we are not marketers. So for the launch, it took a lot of more time than we thought. And when we decide, okay, we are going to launch, then you realize all the little things that you have not done in coding, in documentation. I was taking care of the commercial part. So, okay, for sales, first we choose Stripe, but then, there is all these data protection things and taxes, and no, I don't want to deal with legal things. So you have all these things to think, and before you decide, okay, now we are going to launch, you don't think about them. And they come, oh, there is that, and that. And that's not the fun part.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're about to sell this thing and now we have to do support. I forgot about that side of it.
Yes, I also launched this support website with Platform Circle that I think it's awesome. Paulina was responsible of the documentation and she did an amazing work on that. And we wanted really to document well things. And then, yes, the day we pushed the button to send, okay, now it's live with the button. It was really, really something. And we had no idea how much sales what was going to happen. But the first sales happens after 5 minutes. So it was really a nice sign.
Talk to me about just picking these tools really quick. I know that I think a lot of WordPress people immediately go to, I'm gonna launch a theme or a plugin business. I'm gonna pick, well, what's been in the news recently, easy digital downloads. Maybe they pick WooCommerce to deliver the product. And then some folks who are like, hey, I'm gonna do support, they might be picking BBPress or they might be doing Slack or something like that. You chose two fairly different tools. I love Circle. I think it's a fantastic tool. I've never used your merchant before, but why not something that was attached directly to WordPress? Was there some overhead there that you were like, yeah, I don't even want to deal with that side of it?
But first, I wanted to do the sales website with the product with Gatsby WordPress. So it's not pure WordPress. We don't have easy digital downloads, etc., and all these things. Then even, I don't know if easy digital downloads take care of the taxes and of the data protection, and for me, this thing is really a nightmare. Then about the support, I know a lot of people now are on Discord or Slack, and Slack is nice, but when you want to make support, if people ask questions, then if you want to retrieve the message for other people, that can be useful. Unless taking the paying version, it doesn't work. For me, Slack works better. For example, I have a team for my agency, and then I have the people on Slack. That's different. Discord is nice also for communities, but not for support. When you want to have something well done, where people can retrieve the message, etc. So I searched. There is Discord that was great, and it's has a lot of used. And I discovered Circle because I bought the courses. I hate tomatoes, and I love these courses with Peter, and I think it's really nice. So I just search for what I need. So
it's nice to see people in the WordPress space. So I've been talking to a lot more no-code, low-code people on this podcast, and Circle, third-party merchants, Webflow, like this is what everyone else is using. It's only really in the WordPress world where you just find everyone saying, I will not use anything unless it's GPL and I can find it from WordPress.org. So it's nice to see tools working really well and you voting with your dollars because it's common sense. It doesn't have to glue into WordPress. If it's solving your need, it's good. And I just want to highlight that because I think it's sort of understated with a lot of folks these days. Or maybe even some folks in the WordPress world are afraid to admit it. I'm running a Discord server for my membership at the WP Minute. And I'm just like, I love it. It's a fantastic product. Of course, there's the fear that they get bought up by Microsoft, but I'll deal with that when I get there. How has the marketing gone since? It's been what, roughly, well, how many months has it been? Like 6 months?
3 months. 3 months. We launched a terrible date. We launched on the 3rd of June at the beginning of the summer. So we didn't choose this date. We were just ready then. But then we realized, okay, that's not the best moment for a launch, but whatever.
And what are your plans now? So summertime is famously very low in sales. I mean, just speaking from experience, it's very low in sales. Everyone's outside. COVID, I don't know what's happening in your part of the world. In America, a lot of people went outside because it was the summertime and they were ready to go. And now I'm already seeing even podcast listens are starting to go back up because everyone's like, okay, summer's done. We're back to work, starting to become fall, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, getting to that, famously a low season in the summertime. What's your plans now going into sort of October and the holiday season, et cetera?
Okay, no, for us, it was not only the summer, but what happens is, and one thing when you launch a product and you begin, of course, you don't really make enough money to live only on that. So for me, this summer has been super active because I had tons of freelance work, and really, it has been the more heavy period, I think, of my career. It was terrible. So I didn't take holidays or nothing, but we could not really work more on the themes. But that's good because I realized that, okay, that's really what I crave and want to work on. I realize that, okay, that's my baby. I really want to work on that. So now we're going to really put my all my time on that, and Paulina too. So
how do you split up the role? How do you split up the responsibilities before you continue? How do you split the responsibilities? Who does what on the team?
Okay, we are both developers and designers. Paulina is better than me at some things, at debugging, at writing documentation. She's really a great developer and 100% developer, and she's good at design too. Me, I'm developer, but I have also the business side. I'm more the extrovert one that to talk here in podcast. She will do blog posts and I will do videos to show you the. But the great thing is we agree on most of things, and we really. It has been a flow since the beginning, and I think that's very rare and very precious to have. So we didn't think it. It just thing has been flowing between us. So now we talk, okay, I do that, you do that. Then, the marketing, we are not marketers, neither her or neither me. So we have Bridget Willard, she is great, and we really love her. Feel her that somebody who is part of the team. She's taking care of Twitter for us. And I have my life partner, Darko, who is taking care now of SEO, of mail marketing, of all that. We are preparing that now because we realize it's not enough to have a good product. You have to promote, you have to market, because this baby doesn't walk alone.
Yeah.
So we had a really lot of sales the first month. Then, yes, July, August. And as you say, yes, summer is really calm. Even in the MailChimp subscription, it begins again in September. August is really dead. So yes, we have all these things to do. We are planning to do also webinars, making this free theme and make some tutorials on it.
I think one of the hot trends now, besides getting acquired from like hosting companies, because it seems like all these plugin companies here now are just getting acquired by bigger players, is knocking on the door of like a hosting company, maybe like a static WP who focuses on like headless WordPress or static WordPress, stuff like that. What about that route? Have you been thinking about, maybe I can take even like this free theme as a framework? I know some people don't like that word, but bring it in as a framework to a hosting company, be like, hey, partner up with us, include this as part of your suite of services for your hosting company or for your hosting customers. And then, oh, by the way, just let them know that we have a pro version if they want something else. Is that something that is maybe too far off or like not on the radar yet? Or is that something you really want to go after?
I have not think about it, but it can be an idea. You give me ideas. I'm very close from WP Engine because, of course, there is Jason Ball, Ashim Warren that was at Gatsby, Ken and Mace. I'm really close to them, to all the folks that work there. I was thinking our themes. I was very inspired by Genesis and Studio Press, but the way of doing things, and I think the people that can use it. It's people that want quality. We want themes that don't do. It's not the multi-purpose themes like in Team Forest. No, they do one thing, they do it well, and we have themes for everything. And also the type of people that use it, they like, even if they don't really code, they like to enter in code and modify things themselves. So for me, it's a great model. And I was working with Genesis when I was in WordPress. I was a Genesis developer too. And WP Engine has all now the Studio Press themes, and Brian Gardner now is at WP Engine too. So I don't know. Yes, if there is ideas that come, why not? Now we are beginning, so we will see. Yes, everything is open.
So we've talked a lot about like how to develop these themes, or like how you thought about the development of it, and like Gatsby and JavaScript and all the stuff in the WordPress world. When it comes to marketing, understanding who your customer is one of the most critical pieces. You've mentioned like Genesis and Studio Press. that crowd of users, they were all fairly technical because you were doing like hooks and action filters, like all these things, and you were always like modifying the functions PHP file. They were, people who were born from those days and that product were not the people who like got started using Elementor, where all it was like a drag and drop interface. Have you started to really think critically about who your customer is? Is it more technical? Is it more of like an agency that would be purchasing your product and not sort of somebody who wants to launch a pizza shop website and they're just like, give me Gatsby? Like they don't even know how to do this yet.
Yes.
Have you?
Yes. No, I really think it's more for professionals. I don't say that a non-professional cannot buy it, but the type of people that will want it will be more an agency, a developer that want to enjoy the WordPress world with Gatsby. It's not the person I think who launches pizza, perhaps even don't know about Gatsby. So yes, and they don't have to be super technical, because if you follow our documentation, you don't need to know coding, but you need to use a console. You need to install Node, to install Gatsby, to install Git, to have VS Code, to push that on Git, and everything is explained. Every bit of things you have to write in the console or in the editor, it's copy paste. So that's why I think about people of Genesis and about Sridhar website with all these tutorial, these recipes. I think this type of people will love to work this way. And it's no code, because you don't need to code, but you need to do these things that can afraid some other type of people. And then more technical people, of course, can do much more things. And what I have noticed in the support of the client we have, there is people that are already technical and that ask technical questions that come here.
One of I can't remember because time is so elusive these days. I don't know where this time span was, but famously, I think like a year ago, Matt Mullenweg sort of had like a little open dialogue with
Matt Billman from Netlify, yes.
Right. About like this whole like Jamstack versus WordPress. People still struggle to the average person still struggles to get WordPress up and running, even if they have like a one-click button in their hosting panel. Mm-hmm. They still are challenged with that. Jamstack is still going to be 100 times more challenging. Like if you ask the normal person to do the console stuff, and even maybe some power users, they might struggle with that. Do you see the Jamstack world getting easier from your point of view? Like, are they making it a little bit easier for folks? Or look, these are just the things we have to put up with to boot up a Gatsby theme?
I remember I was talking for people from the Gatsby team, and they say, yes, there is a lot of things that are similar. There is themes, there is plugin, but they have been observing WordPress. So it's a good thing. So I think it will take time, but yes, I think it will become Jamstack. It's really taking the web. So it will become easier. But it's a developer thing. So, and I think people like me, we develop these themes, and that will grow, and that will be other people that will develop more themes and with ideas to make it simpler. And Gatsby will also make things to integrate better with a CMS like WordPress. I think that will come, yes, honestly. But
when you say Jamstack is sort of winning the web or taking over the web, is it because developers are liking that sort of approach better? Or is there something really powerful for the end user that, like the visitor of the website, the buyer of the product who's in an e-commerce site or something like that? Is there something consumer facing that is a real advantage in that model?
Yes, it's both, I think, yes. Developers love it, but users just, for example, now I have a client now, we are building a huge website about travels, a sort of travel advisor. We have 5 custom post type, filtering that. People make a search and they can filter with many, many criteria. He have a lot of images, and he didn't know, he come about WordPress, he didn't know about Jamstack. And when I explain him how it goes, he said, oh my God, that solved all my problems, speed, security, all that. And even if somebody's not technical, show them Gatsby, your next website, and show the speed and change page is just instantaneous. And then explain them that the security is improved because with a static website, a hacker can just deface your website. He will not touch your database. And even if your WordPress is down, your site is up. It will not be down if it's static. Then yes, and the speed for SEO, it's critical.
Yeah.
So that's super important now. And the flexibility. So you can have your content, all the marketing page, the blog from WordPress, but perhaps you prefer that having Shopify or BigCommerce, even if we have WooCommerce. So you can have your shop on Shopify. You can have some data in Google Sheets and things that come from other API, and all that in a consistent theme in one website.
Yeah.
So
that's the exciting part. That's what
yes.
the whole like WordPress crashing, but my website still being up. Like that's all you need to tell me.
Yes.
Right? Like, I'm just like, yes, I like perfect. That's exactly
yes, yes, you can crash WordPress. You can destroy your WordPress and your files. Your site is there.
All right. So for the listener today, if they want to get started with Gatsby or with your theme, it's GatsbyWPThemes.com. GatsbyWPThemes.com. Go and visit that site. Anything else they should prepare before they hit purchase? Like what should they have? Should they have a special hosting account before?
Yes, we have it on the doc. There is a link, I think, saying yes, what you should do, prepare your computer, because yes, one of our fears, but it didn't happen, it's they need to install Node, they need to install Git, they need to install Gatsby, so they need to prepare their computer, and nobody had problem with that. And it's different on Mac and on Windows. Everything is on the Gatsby documentation, so we explain it on our documentation and we link it to Gatsby, so that's they can do that before buying, because somebody who suddenly is going to not, oh, that's too complicated for me, it will not be good. So after that, yes, they can, and then just they can read the documentation, and we are going to bring this free theme so they can play with that. It will have not the options, not the comments, not all the fancy things, but it will be totally usable. What I wanted to say.
Buy, go buy the theme now.
Yes, exactly.
GatsbyWPThemes.com. Alexandra, where else can folks say thanks on the web?
To say thanks, yes, we have a Twitter. It's at WP. It's Gatsby WP Themes, but I don't remember the handle.
We'll link it up in the show notes. We'll have a link.
That's better. Yes, and we have this support website with Circle, which is nice, so they can subscribe there and subscribe to the website, because this is where we are going to send the free theme and all the goodies. And also in our newsletter now we are going to begin also to inform people about things about Jamstack. For example, now we have the Gatsby camp just happened, and they announced Gatsby 4, which will have SSR, server-side rendering, and many things. And of course, as soon as it's stable, we will implement it in our themes.
I love me some server-side rendering. I tell you, I don't know what it does, but it sounds powerful and it sounds fast. And that's what I like. GatsbyWPThemes.com. Alexandra, thanks for doing the show today. Everyone else is mattreport.com, mattreport.com/subscribe, join the mailing list. Don't forget to support the show by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/mattreport, buymeacoffee.com/mattreport. That's where you can get connected to our membership powered by Discord. I love it. If you want to be part of the weekly news, check it out. Buymeacoffee.com/mattreport. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.